Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Today Isle. I'm Caelixian. You can call me Kale. And today, I'll be going for a walk. Now that doesn't sound terribly exciting, does it? But I'll be walking my dog Silas, here he is, with my beautiful wife Sara, and we're gonna go for a walk on the trail on my land. Now, we own 20 acres of land, and they are fairly productive. Lots of great forageables that we can spot. I'm always on the lookout for new things to pick. So it's a beautiful sunny day, and we decided let's go for a walk. There's my barn. Gotta love the barn. We lucked out when we got this property. It's such a great place. And of course, the dog. Alright, now that that's over, let's go take a look at the chickens for a second. They're 9 weeks old. I tell you, they grow so fast. It's unbelievable how quickly they grow. I have them for two purposes. One would be eggs, of course, and the other is as basically compost machines for amending my garden soil. And they're doing a great job at that. Got some apples on my apple trees. There's 3 of them in the backyard here. That's going to be pretty exciting in the fall. The trail's a bit overgrown, but it's not like I could get out there with a whippersnipper every day. It's, you know, almost a kilometer long. And here he goes again. There's my wood pile. I've been cutting some wood with the chainsaw for winter. A lot of deadfalls in this area. A lot of these slender trees just kind of keep falling over in the really strong wind. They're not getting enough light because the taller trees are blocking it out. So they make good firewood. Here I've built a makeshift bridge over a boggy area. Now, one of the downsides of our property is that there are a lot of kind of wet areas, which make it a bit trickier to travel through. Not so bad in the summer, but in the shoulder months it can be pretty moist. Usually I use rubber boots to go through here, but not so bad in the summer. Like I said, it dries out a bit. In the winter, a lot of it freezes, so you can just kind of walk over all of it, which is kind of nice. There's a tree over here that I picked some oyster mushrooms the other day. I'll throw in some shots here just so you see what it looked like the other day. These are oyster mushrooms. They were delicious. We ate some fresh, and we dehydrated some as well, which is always fun. As you can see, I picked those about 3 days before this video, and now the tree is completely empty, so. They don't last long. For the most part, the trail is actually quite nice. It was used by four-wheeler drivers. What do you call four-wheeler-ers? The four-wheeler-ers have come through here and basically made a decent trail. You'll see more of this trail in my future videos because this is also my hunting grounds. There's lots of partridge, or actually I guess they're ruffed grouse, we just call them partridge here, and pheasants, and deer as well. I'll show you where my deer stand will be. And did I mention there's lots of forageables? Blackberries, blueberries, Christmas trees, of course. This whole area on the right is filled with blackberries. I suspect I may find some mushrooms in the fall as well. It's gonna be a bit of an identification process though, because I'm not sure which ones will grow around here and which ones are actually gonna be edible, so I'll probably do a video on spore printing at some point, just for the sake of showing how it's done. Sorry for the spinning camera, the dog wrapped himself around me, so you know how it goes. This is why you typically wear boots here. This section and a few other sections up ahead are a little bit on the mucky side. You don't want to step in that. You'll sink in up to your knees. Even though today was relatively hot for the area, now we're very coastal, so we don't get temperatures that are ridiculously hot, but this was like a day where it was in the very high 20s, like 27, 8, and it's always nice and cool in the forest. It's very great. You just cool off by going for a stroll in the woods. One thing we do have in abundance in this particular area are ticks, and they're not fun. Lots of ticks. We actually found 2 after this walk, and that's kind of weird because it's the middle of summer. This is like early August. You don't usually find them in the dead of summer, but these ticks are resilient. Now these are not blueberries, although they are blue berries. These are what we colloquially call snakeberries. These, I don't know what they are. If anybody knows, let me know in the comments. They look delicious, but I'm not about to eat them. Not until I know what they are. I know a lot about the plants and stuff around here, but that one there is not one that we had in New Brunswick. I lived in New Brunswick for 16 years recently. This is in Nova Scotia, which is where I grew up, but I wasn't as interested in plants and foraging back then. As you just saw, there was some blueberries back there as well, but I think we covered that already in another video. There's some more blueberries. This section is kind of neat. It's kind of an old dead forest. It's all swampy, and the trees are quite bare under the canopy. At the top, it's pretty full, but underneath here, it's all kind of dead, and it looks neat. I also take a impromptu trail through the woods here to get around the main area of the path, which is quite mucky, as you can see. Here we have some bunchberries. I need to do a little bit more research on bunchberries, but apparently they're a very bland berry, but highly nutritious. And I have heard that you can use them in preserves, as sort of a filler and adds a little more nutrients to your jam without changing the flavor or anything like that. So something that might be useful. More of them here. You're probably wondering what kind of dog Silas is. Well, he's just a mix. He's a mixed bag. He's got a little bit of Staffordshire Terrier in him, so he kind of looks a little bit like a pit bull, and he's got very pointy, upright ears. So we kind of think maybe German Shepherd or something mixed in there, but he's quite small for that type of dog. So I'm not sure. He's cute, and he's ours. So up here, there's actually a little side trail. Oh, this is a rugosa. They're wild roses that grow all around here. I almost said spawn. Played too many games. Up there in that tree, that's where my deer stand is, and I'll be using that in the fall. Hopefully, see what we can get. Some more blueberries here. This area here is also filled with blackberries, so when the blackberries are ripe, yep, I'm gonna get my fill. You don't hear it in the video because my camera is in a protective case, but normally, at this point in the walk, you're hearing a very loud crashing sound, which is kind of cool. If you didn't know what it was, you'd be all like, what the heck is that? Really loud. Now, I mean, at this point in time, I don't think it was too loud, but at certain times of day, it's very loud. In fact, we can hear it from our home. It's always kind of cool. You'll know in a second what that is. And again, this area here filled with interesting plants. A lot of wild roses and also blackberries. And I have found some blueberries out here as well. Another rose. They are so fragrant. Of course, where there are roses, that means there'll also be rose hips. Another project of mine. And here's some unripe blackberries, but they will be ripe soon. Usually mid to late August, that's when we start to pick them. They kind of herald the end of the summer months. Even though September is still technically summer, it doesn't quite feel like it around here. Usually the temperatures drop quite a bit. That's the source of the sound we were hearing. So, as you can see, my land abuts the ocean. I have about, or I should say, we have about 560 feet of shoreline, which is very nice. It's not a tropical beach or anything, but it is access to the ocean, and it's a great time waster. We spend a lot of time here. Tide is out right now. This is the Atlantic Ocean. It's pretty much the Bay of Fundy, so you expect the crazy tides, which you get periodically. Some of the main high course tides that happen, you know, with the lunar cycles. They come up, well, right up to the edge of the cliff here, pretty much. This has eroded quite a bit over the last, you know, 100 years or so. In, you know, 50 years, this path that we're walking on right now could be gone. Could have fallen into the ocean. Crazy to think that. All of this is blackberry. And there's some raspberry. The raspberries are a favorite of both mine and the birds. And even our domestic raspberries, we are having a very hard time keeping any for ourselves because the birds are devouring them all. Yep, next year perhaps I'll put some netting down. There's some more roses. Well, I hope you enjoyed your walk with us today. Like I said, it's a spectacular property. We're really happy to have it and to be able to share it with you guys, just so you can, you know, get a look at Nova Scotia's coastlines and the wilderness. Great fun. And our bizarre dog Silas says goodbye for now. What are you doing, Silas? Silas? What are you? Okay. He's broken. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.